This is Steve Schiffman, and I want to thank you very much for joining me on this webcast today. One of the things that I want to address is relatively simple, and that is you kidding yourself about what's really going to happen with the prospect that you're talking to. Now, I coach individuals, and the first thing I tell you, because there are 3 stages that we go through when I coach. The first is analysis of the pipeline. What does it look like? What do we really have? What can we anticipate that's going to really happen? Second thing, we talk about how to get an appointment, how to meet somebody, whether it's on phone, in person, whether it's using something like Zoom or Skype. How do I do that? And last of all, we talk about what the meeting should look like. So I do these 3 things, and I find that the key is in the pipeline. The pipeline's weak. And if the pipeline's weak, there's no chance you're going to make a sale because it's not there. Follow? It's not there, so you don't have a chance of making it there. Got that? You know. Okay, so why is that? So I'm speaking to a woman the other day, I'm coaching, and she said, well, I've got this deal going. Well, how much is it? And she told me what it was. And I said, oh, that sounds good. And I said, what do you think your chances are? Oh, this is easy. I'm going to close this thing. Yeah, this will make my numbers, her quota, she said to me. I love what people say. This will make my quota. I said, really? I said, when was the last time you spoke to them? Oh, a couple of months. Well, closer to 6 months. So you spoke to them 6 months ago? Oh, yeah. But you see, they take a long time in making the decision. You've heard that. Oh, they do? Yeah, yeah. They take a long time. Yeah. I see. So just out of curiosity, since that's sitting there for 6 months, what else have you done? Have you brought in more prospects? Well, no, I know this is going to happen. In other words, this is it. I said, really? You're counting on this one deal that's going to close that you haven't talked to in 6 months? Oh, yeah, but I sent everything. What'd you send? A proposal. I said, oh. And who'd you send it to? Send it. That's a key word there. You didn't visit. Who'd you send it to? I sent it to the decision maker. I said, let me ask you a question. Now, listen. Is there anybody that decision maker speaks to about the decision? In other words, everybody talks to somebody else. Very rarely do you buy a car by yourself. You go in, you buy a car, you bring somebody with you. You don't buy a house by yourself, you bring somebody with you. There's usually 2 people, 3 people. You'll ask your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, you ask your mother and father. You'll ask people about, what do you think of this house? Especially the first house. Well, everybody talks to somebody. Everybody has a confidant. Everybody has somebody else they talk to. So who is your decision maker speaking to? Well, I don't know, she said. I have no idea. So then how can you guarantee that that person, the other person, hasn't said, don't do this? Oh, she said, I really can't. I said, well, that's the point. You really can't. So in essence, she's fooling herself. Don't kid yourself. Look at your prospect. When you get done with today and you get done listening to this or looking at it, look at your base of prospects and say to yourself, is this real? Do I really have a chance of making this happen? Is it really going to take me over the top? Or am I kidding myself? If you're a manager, be serious about that. Sales is date driven. Date of first meeting, date to recommend or propose, date for delivery, date for payment, everything's date driven. And if the dates aren't close and there's no sense of urgency from the buyer, then what's the chance of you really making a sale? First meeting is a timestamp. You need to know how long it typically takes to make a sale. For you, not for me, for you. You need to understand, just like I talked about tracking, you need to understand what it takes to make a sale for you, not for me. Don't forget, if there's something I can do for you, please reach out. Send me a note. I got a very nice email for somebody who said, 20 years ago, you trained my group. And I just want to thank you because I trained, and he told me what he did with that training. Told me how he made it. And second generation, his son is interested in being coached by me. Great call. I thought it was great. Anyway, if I can help you, reach out. Email me, write me, call me. find me on the web. You can do that easily. And I recommend you put the word rubber stamp in there, and you got a chance of winning a book. Please. And please pass this along to someone else. You know how you found me. Pass it on to somebody else. Hey, listen, look at this stuff. After all, we don't have 25 people here. It's just you and me talking about how to increase sales. Okay? Thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate it. And as always, you humble me by your attendance.